The psychological evaluation hurt us.
I saw the report. It said Lauren was happy and likely to flourish in either home.
The judge is going to respond better to Michael's situation.
Only because Michael puts on a better show. Any trained psychologist could see right through that.
Oh, right through the big house in the gated community in Westchester with the exclusive private school down the block and the dozens of kids Lauren's age playing in the street.
Where they could be hit by a car. It's a joke. A psychologist spends 2 hours poking around my living room and then decides Lauren's future. I should have listened to Jillian. I should have baked for that guy.
It wouldn't have helped.
I think we should baked. So we get to the part where you say, not to worry, it's all going to work out, that Lauren's not going anywhere. Because I'm really ready for that part. 2 large coffees, please.
All right, coming up.
I want to revisit something.
No.
Amy, I want you to think about putting Lauren on the stand.
Helene, the one thing Michael and I have agreed about through all of this is we're not putting Lauren on the stand.
Well, of course he agreed to that because he's afraid she'd choose you.
That's not the point. We talked about this at the beginning, and you said your strategy would not include...
This is not a science. You know that. Strategies evolve.
Thank you.
There you go.
We have a good case. With my mother and Peter, we can get Kyle from the hospital. You can put him on the stand if you
They're
need to.
all strong witnesses, every one of them, but
But not strong enough?
your daughter taking a stand, saying she wants to live with her mother, that wins the case.
This has never been about who has the bigger house with the nicer neighborhood. It's about offering Lauren a life that is stable, a life that is safe. It's about Lauren's best interests.
And, in your opinion?
In my opinion, with all due respect, Your Honor, it's a no-brainer. While living with her mother, Lauren was stalked, terrorized, and abducted by an ex-con. You probably read about it. The same ex-con who was murdered in the backyard 15 feet from where Lauren was sleeping by her babysitter, who also happens to be a former street hustler.
Multiple objections, Your Honor. I don't even know where to start.
Well, why don't you start with the fact that not once did Amy bother to tell me, Lauren's father, that any of this was happening. I saw it on the evening news.
Objection sustained. Mr. Kirby, please instruct your client to limit his testimony to facts and evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. No more questions.
I've got a few. Mr. Cassidy, isn't it true that the first 3 years after your divorce was finalized, custody of your daughter was not really a big priority for you?
No, that's not true at all.
And yet, according to my records, not once during that period did you try to increase your visitation schedule with Lauren.
That doesn't mean I was happy with it.
You had Lauren 2 weekends a month. How many times in the past 3 years were you unable to meet even that commitment?
I don't know. Things come up. I may have called Amy a couple of times and asked her if she would keep Lauren for the weekend.
Tried 19 times.
That doesn't sound right.
Isn't it true that you were content with the custody arrangement until your second wife, Leisha Eldon, pressured you to petition for increased custody?
No, that's not true. Sorry. I apologize.
No, it's not true.
Just for the sake of discussion, how does your new wife feel about the custody arrangement?
Leisha would love to spend more time with Lauren. We both would. They have a good relationship. Leisha's home all day and would be an excellent role model and parent figure for Lauren.
She's not, you know.
Excuse me?
Leisha, she's not Lauren's parent. And won't be. I just wanted to make sure you were clear.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. Miss Steele.
Listen, this has nothing to do with Leisha. This is about me and Amy and who can do best by Lauren. Now, I've always trusted Amy's instincts as a mother. Even after we split up, I always thought that she knew what she was doing, that she knew better, but I don't feel that way anymore. I simply don't trust her. And at this point right now, I feel that I'm the better parent.
Blood pressure's back up. He's stable. Dr. McCarty, why don't you finish off this G-tube?
Me?
Gonna need to see a bit more confidence in that, doctor.
Sorry, you just took me by surprise, is all.
Well, this is a teaching hospital, Doctor. Try to learn how not to be surprised. Get the boy up to pediatric ICU, and Dr. McCarty, I'll need to see you when you're finished here.
All right. How about we...
Check for patency and order a chest AP and lat to rule out aspiration pneumonia.
Right, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna need a 4-0 chromic gut suture, and please hold the tube laterally while I secure it to the fascia.
I know I should be used to this by now, but every morning, no matter what time I arrive, it always looks as if a pack of jackals has been at the bagels.
Well, you won't want to look at the fridge then.
Sean,
Yeah.
did you see him last night?
Who's that?
Who's that? Sean, how many foster children do you have who were recently arrested for murder? You told me you were going to visit Eric.
Yeah, I did. I saw him last night.
And?
And what?
How is he?
Do you really care, or are you just making conversation?
No, excuse me. We have discussed this. I'm going to be a material witness at the trial. What if he confesses and they ask me about it on the stand?
Whatever.
Don't go adolescent on me, Sean. Do you think I don't want to see Eric?
No, Eric thinks you don't want to see him. He thinks you don't like him anymore.
That's absurd.
Here.
What is it?
He wrote you a letter, asked me to give it to you. I don't know, maybe you want to check with the lawyer first, see if she'll let you read it.
You wanted to see me?
Cerebral palsy, severe mental retardation, chronic pneumonia. He's blind, deaf. He can't breathe on his own, so he's hooked up to a ventilator. He can't swallow. Food goes directly into his lungs, so now he has a permanent feeding tube. 4 years old. He spent 2/3 of his life right here in the pediatric ICU. What do you think his prognosis is?
Not great.
As he gets older, his problems get worse. You know, he doesn't even cry anymore when we jab him in the arm to start an IV. And it's a good 5 or 6 needle jabs before we can find a vein. Not a whimper.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I think it's time to talk to her about a DNR. A do not resuscitate order.
You mean it's time for me to talk to her?
There comes a point in medical intervention when it becomes an exercise in cruelty. And with David, we are there.
All right, I'll talk to her.
Hey, Dr. McCarty. How's he doing?
Still critical. He tolerated the procedure well, but they're treating him now for pneumonia and a secondary infection.
His trach tube again?
Actually, we think it's in his lungs this time. His temperature's been hovering 103 all morning.
Well, that'll come down. The antibiotics will kick in.
We hope so. If not, we'll do a bronchoscopy and get a sample from his lungs. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, he had one a couple months ago. Same thing, the infection in the lungs.
That's always going to be a risk for him. Do you want a cup of coffee?
Sure.
There's something else we need to discuss. David's code status.
You're asking me to sign a DNR?
If David gets worse, we need to know what you want done for him. A DNR would dictate David not receive electric shock, manual chest compression, or further intubation.
I want everything done for him.
Mrs. Gilbert, David is going to get worse. We need to think about what we're putting him through.
He's a fighter, and he's strong. You know, when he was born, they told me he'd never make it through the night. But hey, we're still here. That little guy is my miracle baby, and I am not going to give up.
Okay. We'll proceed with treatment as needed.
Good. He's a tough kid.
Toughest I've ever seen.
Hi there. Oh, don't tell me. Let me guess. It smells like...
It's Sloppy Joe's.
Of course it's Sloppy Joe's. Nothing like a nice hot can of dinner after a long day.
Fair enough, Mom. What did you prepare?
Sloppy Joe's works for me.
Grandma, you dropped your mail.
Thank you.
You got a letter from Eric?
You did?
Was What did he say?
I'm not sure. I haven't read it yet.
Can I read it?
Is it addressed to you?
I thought we weren't supposed to answer questions with questions.
Yes. Well, there are exceptions.
I'm gonna go write Eric a letter.
Fine idea.
Dinner in 10 minutes. You're not gonna read Eric's letter?
One crisis at a time, maybe. How'd it go today?
Well, let's see. I got to hear Michael explain what a god-awful parent I am. He was pretty convincing.
It's a custody hearing, Amy. That's the nature of it, you know that. You cannot for 1 second give his words any credence.
All I can think is if he was able to convince me that I'm a terrible mother, then he must have been able to convince the judge.
Michael always was a persuasive speaker.
Sometimes that's all that matters. I'm on the bench, I know. Judges are swayed by persuasive speakers.
The judge has heard only one side of this story. When does our side testify?
First thing tomorrow morning.
Then tomorrow the judge hears the truth. And Amy, persuasive speaking runs in our family too.
You promise?
I do.
God, he's so in love with her. He never bought me lunch.
Honey, it's a bag of Fritos and a can of Diet Coke. It doesn't make him Casanova. Let's run through your witness list. I still say your viable testimonies come from Peter, your mother, and yourself. We'll start with your brother. Get the weak link out of the way.
Peter's the weak link?
He's an insurance salesman. Know what I'm saying? No one's expecting fireworks.
Guess it's not all bliss.
Don't gloat. The stress of these trials could cause Jimmy and Rosalind Carter to snap at each other.
There they are.
Hi, guys.
Oh, sorry we're late. The IRS issued some last-minute small business tax credits, so you can imagine what my morning's been like. So, who testifies first?
Couldn't get her to sign. The DNR on the Go report.
Yeah, I heard. They started the bronchoscopy 5 minutes ago. Listen, Kyle, nobody goes into medicine because they're good at telling parents their children are going to die. But it's part of the job. You did what you could.
Not even sure she heard a word I said. This woman, she has such faith in her son. What gives us the right to say she's wrong?
We're doctors. We both know she's wrong. This is Dr. Rediker? Okay, I'll be right there. Pediatric ICU. One of David's lungs collapsed during the bronchoscopy. They're having trouble stabilizing him. You coming?
My father started Gray & Gray Insurance in 1960. I joined him as soon as I graduated from college. We specialized in home, life, and automobile insurance. After my father died, I branched into small business insurance, including fire and liability. Someday, I hope my son Ned will join me.
Your Honor. The witness will please keep his answers concise. I don't have that many years left.
Is it accurate to say you function as your family's financial advisor?
Well, I have a certain expertise, so I try to, Yes, that's accurate.
And how would you characterize your sister as a financial provider for her daughter?
Well, Amy's done the best thing a parent can do. She's essentially created a safety net for Lauren with a 529 college savings plan, an educational IRA, and half a dozen blue chip stocks in a custodial account. Amy's in the process of ensuring Lauren's future.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. No more questions.
Mr. Gray, how objective can you really be in this matter?
I'm a board-certified CPA. I was trained to be objective, sir.
Now, how do you explain your sister's impulsive decision last year to rent a $1,500 a month apartment when she was living with her mother rent-free?
Mr. Kirby, do you still live with your mother?
Your Honor.
Witness has a point.
Children move away from their parents. There's nothing economic theory can do about that.
And yet she and Lauren just moved back in with your mother, isn't that true?
Yes, she bought the house and decided to reside within her investment. A sound financial decision.
Ah, was it a sound financial decision to pay significantly more than market value for the house?
Well, factor in a weak stock market and low interest rates, real estate is a good... Yes.
That house needs thousands of dollars of repairs. Now, as a board-certified accountant, can you really say it's worth that money?
Well, I guess that depends on how you figure worth. That house has sustained our family for 3 generations. Lauren sleeps in the same room her mother slept in when she was Lauren's age. That makes a kid feel safe. That kind of stability? What's that worth?
A simple yes or no would suffice.
Actually, it won't. Not in this case. You see, what you need to know is that house has been like a fortress to us. Our whole extended family still eats dinner there together 3 times a week. That's something Lauren can count on. In the dining room door jamb, you can still see a chart that tracked how tall we were getting. Our family pets are buried in the backyard. And when you go on the back door, you step over our parents' initials they carved when the foundation was built 40 years ago. That's the house where Lauren lives.
Welcome back. You gave us quite a scare, but here you are. No one can say you're a quitter. You're probably wondering why I'm listening to your heart instead of using the monitor. Well, a heartbeat is more than just rate and pressure, my little friend.
He can't hear you.
I know.
How's his heart sound?
It's beating, but it's hard work.
I don't think you can ask me to simply give up hope. I mean, what kind of a mother would I be if I gave up on my child?
Mrs. Gilbert, I'm sorry, but I don't think there's any more hope to give up.
Well, then why are you lowering your voice? Because you don't want David to hear?
Respect, I guess. Respect for human life.
Oh, is that what signing the do not resuscitate order is all about? Respect for human life?
Yes.
You talk like I'm holding him here against his will.
For me, being a doctor means I get to spend my life being proud of my actions. But whenever I help bring David back, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel like I'm doing good. Do you?
You know, it's all just pain for me. Hardly anything else can get through. If David could just tell me. I'll sign the DNR.
We're both usually there for Lauren's breakfast. In fact, family members tend to drop by in the mornings, which makes it lively.
How does Lauren get to school?
Carpool. Mostly Amy does our share of the driving.
And what about after school?
Monday she has cheerleading practice. Friday she goes to the Boys and Girls Club and Amy picks her up. The sitter takes her to karate Tuesday, skating Wednesday, and clarinet practice Thursday, although she is considering a change to the flute.
Thank you. No more questions.
Ms. Gray, you work for the Department of Children and Families?
Yes, for 34 years.
When placing a child, why does the DCF prefer a 2-parent home?
The demands of parenthood are such that a child is better cared for when 2 parents share that responsibility.
Yes,
and
and
I
yet
consider our home a 2-parent home.
Oh. Oh, with you as the second parent.
Yes.
Huh. Would it surprise you to know that last year you worked an average of 52 hours and 33 minutes a week?
No, that would not surprise me.
And that your daughter worked an average of 60 hours a week?
That does surprise me.
Why?
I would have guessed that I put in more hours than she does.
Ah. With the two of you working a total of 112 hours a week, the sitter that you referred to earlier must play a pretty important role in Lauren's life. Is that true?
We also have an extended family. My son, my daughter-in-law, my nephew. They all consider my home their home.
Was a boy named Eric Black ever one of Lauren's sitters?
Yes?
Have you used Mr. Black during the last month?
No, we have not.
Why is that?
He's in juvenile detention.
What did he do?
He's awaiting trial on a manslaughter charge.
Is good childcare really that hard to find?
Eric Black was a foster child under my supervision. I helped him get off the street, found a home for him, enabled him to succeed in school, and made sure that he completed a 6-week course in babysitter training.
So how did this work, that you and your daughter decided that this formerly homeless street kid and future murderer would make an appropriate
Eric Black is
babysitter for
awaiting
Lauren?
trial.
Your Honor.
He hasn't been
Stand.
convicted of anything. The events on the night in question are unclear. What I do know is that earlier that day, I believe that he saved my granddaughter's life.
The objection has been sustained, Miss Gray.
I'm not gonna lie, we took a hit.
We knew Eric would be a factor. What could I have said differently?
Ma, lawyers twist things. The judge knows that.
At least you got in the fact that Eric saved Lauren's life. That was good.
But you still think that...
We took a hit.
Oh, Judge Gray. What are you guys doing here? Don't you have jobs?
Our boss isn't in today.
Yeah, we're playing hooky. Don't rat us out.
How's it going?
Pretty well.
Listen, Judge Gray, if you think it'll help, put me on. I can testify about your professional life.
We don't have a lot of time here, so I'll be blunt. You're a convicted felon, so your credibility is non-existent. The only questions he'll have for you are along the lines of, you say she's a good judge, Mr. Van Exel? Do you also think she's a good kisser?
Okay. Just trying to help.
I know you are, Bruce. Thank you very much.
Hey, what about me? I never kissed Judge Gray.
Right. So you say, I think Judge Gray is really nice. And Kirby says, aren't you the courthouse eccentric, which everyone will hear is new age whack job, who gave birth in an inflatable hot tub in Judge Gray's dining room? And by the way, how's your ex-husband, the convicted axe murderer?
Man, this guy's brutal.
So, if it's okay with the two of you, we'll just stick with the game plan.
Works for me.
Yeah, you know best.
Unless you can convince Amy to change her mind about Lauren.
Helene!
Listen to me. Don't look back on this day and wonder what would have happened if. You need to reconsider.
No, I don't.
All right. You're up next.
Is it happening?
I think we're close.
How long will it take?
I'm sorry, I can't say. Not long. Do you want a technical explanation of what's happening right now?
He's dying. Is he in pain?
No. I promise you that.
Oh, God.
Are you sure you want to be here?
I can't not be here. I have to be here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it. You have to help me.
Nancy, please, for David's sake.
No, it's bad, man. This is wrong. Please, I can't do it. Please. Oh, my God. Please, Dr. McCartney. You have to help him. Help my child. Please. Oh, my God. Please, Dr. McCartney.
I need a crash cart. You're gonna have to move back. What's going on? Which one amp epi?
1 amp IV push.
No pulse, no respiration.
I can't read a pressure.
Charge from the defibrillator 120. Come on, let's go.
Charge 120.
I'm so sorry.
Hang some line.
Clear.
How long were you victimized by this stalker, Judge Gray?
2 months. Maybe a little longer.
Why didn't you tell Michael about it right away?
Or ever, for the record.
Mr. Cassidy.
Well, at first I didn't want to think this guy was a real threat. It wasn't happening all the time. I thought to myself, I'm a judge. Things like this go with the territory. And then I was hoping it would just go away on its own.
And when it got worse?
I got a restraining order. I talked to the police, and they started posting someone at the house.
But still, you didn't tell Michael, and you didn't tell Lauren?
Well, I didn't want to scare Lauren. I didn't want to make her afraid to go to sleep, afraid to look over her shoulder, like I was.
You were trying to protect her?
I was.
And Michael?
That was a mistake. We were in custody mediation when all this started, and mediation wasn't going well. And I felt that Michael would take advantage of the fact that someone was harassing me and use it as leverage to force Lauren away from me. It's not a good excuse, but sometimes fear can cloud your judgment, and I think that's what happened to me.
If the same thing happened again, if you and your family were threatened again, what would you do differently?
I would tell Michael. He's Lauren's father. He needed to know.
No more questions.
Mr. Kirby?
Judge Gray, I applaud you for owning up to your mistakes. I think that's very brave of you.
Gee, thanks.
I understand your mother is about to get remarried.
Yes?
Will she be moving out of the house you share?
Yes.
Will you be moving in with her and her new husband?
Of course not.
Ah, so then the two-parent household will once again become a one-parent household.
Yes.
Are you then planning to cut back on your court hours so you can be there when Lauren gets home from school? Or are you going to hire another babysitter? Live-in nanny, perhaps? Mary Poppins?
Do you have her number?
What's your plan, Judge Gray?
I don't know, Mr. Kirby. I guess I'll figure it out, just the way I've done for the last 4 years.
Huh. Good plan. I just have one more question. With all that's happened, Judge Gray, have you ever considered that perhaps Lauren's father might be better suited to raise Lauren for a while?
Absolutely. Mr. Kirby, I've just met you, and God knows there's some days when I think somebody like you would be better suited to raising Lauren. It's not an easy thing, raising a child. It means accepting the fact that you are fallible, that you're going to make mistakes. But the parent who does not suffer from occasional self-doubt in the face of such a massive responsibility is not the parent that I want raising my child. The only way we do better is by figuring out what we did wrong. So that's my plan, Mr. Kirby. Just the way it's always been. I love my daughter, and I plan to do better. Did you brush your teeth?
Yeah, wanna see?
Beautiful. Sleep well, sweetheart.
Mom,
Yeah?
what happens tomorrow?
What do you mean?
In court with you and Daddy. What if the judge makes the wrong decision?
Impossible. There is no wrong decision.
Then why are you and Daddy fighting? Why are you in court?
You know why? It's because we both love you so much, and we want the best for you. But we just have slightly different ideas of what that is. So we go to a judge to help us figure that out. You understand?
Yeah.
It's all gonna work out. The judge is a very, very smart man. So don't you worry, okay?
Okay. No one asked me.
What?
No one asked me what I thought was best.
No, I guess we didn't.
I like things the way they are. That's what I think is best.
Get some rest, honey. You ever gonna open that?
Eventually. Maybe.
I don't know if I can, Amy. If this is an admission of guilt, if he tells me something I shouldn't know.
Ma, that's a crock.
I'm expected to testify at his trial. That's the way I can help him.
Eric has me to be his witness. That's not what he needs you for. Ma, he needs you to love him and forgive him. I can't do that for him, neither can Sean. He chose you. He needs somebody to talk to. You know what I think? I think you're afraid to say what you want to say to him.
Which is what?
Same as me. Thank you.
Thank you. For killing someone in our backyard.
I'm sorry. I'm glad Eric did what he did. And I think deep down you're thankful too, and you hate feeling that way. Mom, when I think about what could have happened to any of us, to Lauren, we could have been facing something a lot worse than a custody fight. All right, suit yourself. Good night.
Amy, put Lauren on the stand. What if it's the one thing that makes a difference? What if it means you get to keep her? If a judge heard what Lauren said upstairs...
Mom, it's one thing for her to say what she did in her room at night. But to say it in a court in front of her father? No, I'm not going to do that to her. Because then it becomes something permanent. Something she did that she has to live with for the rest of her life.
Michael would do it in a heartbeat.
Well, Michael's an ass.
Yes, and a realist and a pragmatist, which is what you need to be in this situation. Helene is right. Children are resilient.
Mom, if I cannot convince this judge that I am the better parent without using my little girl as a champion, then, well, maybe I deserve to lose. Because I am the parent. I am the champion, not a 10-year-old who only knows she loves both of her parents.
You do not deserve to lose.
Guess you heard.
Yeah. David made it back from the dead one more time?
I could have ignored her.
You had the legal right to let him die.
Wasn't tough enough. I'm not tough enough for this.
Tough enough for what?
I should have had a nurse come in and remove her from the room and let the boy go. That's what you would have done.
I wouldn't have done that. A mother is begging me to save her sick child? I'm gonna kick into gear just like you did.
I couldn't say no.
What kind of monster could?
What about David?
She'll have to sign another DNR.
A DNR's only good if we use it.
One of these times, David is going to code, and his mother will be sleeping, or getting something to eat, or a breath of fresh air. And when she comes back, it'll all be over. And maybe she'll allow herself to realize that she didn't let him down.
She let him go.
I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but you did everything right. You were a great doctor.
Hey. Well, my mother agrees with you about Lauren.
So you're gonna put her on the stand? You know it's my recommendation. And your mother has a lot of experience.
Helene, you are a warrior, and I appreciate that. And yes, that is why I hired you. But we have to do things my way.
All right. I'll inform the judge we're not calling any more witnesses. We still have closing statements, and I am known far and wide for my... What the hell is this?
Are we in the wrong courtroom?
I thought maybe I was early.
Excuse me, sir. Are we still in recess?
No, ma'am, we're adjourned.
Adjourned? What about a judgment?
Cassidy v. Gray, custody hearing.
Yeah?
The suit was dropped.
You don't suppose you scared Michael right out of town?
They were winning. I'm sorry, but they were winning. Yeah. Helene Steele for Gordon Kirby. Is he in? Yeah, we're down here. What? You're sure? Okay, we'll talk this afternoon. Michael dropped the suit an hour ago. Turns out he's having domestic problems.
It's a custody suit. Of course he's having domestic problems.
Oh my God, it's Leisha. It's Michael and Leisha.
How sad.
This is why I wasn't answering the phone. I thought you might call. I didn't think you'd just stop by.
Did you drop the custody suit because you're having problems with Leisha?
We're not having problems. She left me.
Well, I'd say I'm sorry, except now I get to keep Lauren. So all those things you said about me in the courtroom, that I'm a terrible mother, that I'm unfit to raise Lauren...
I'm sorry. I really thought it would be best for everyone if Lauren came to live with us. It just didn't come together.
It didn't come together? Like a business deal? The components didn't gel? You didn't want to take Lauren away from me because I'm a bad mother. You wanted her to save your bad marriage.
Hey, isn't that why we had her in the first place?
You know what? One day Lauren is going to find out what you are really like, and you are going to lose her, too.
You know, all those things I said in the courtroom, they were true. And yet, you are still the better parent. I love Lauren enough to recognize that fact. Is the crucifixion over yet? I mean, are there any more open wounds you'd like to stick your thumb into?
How do you think Lauren's going to feel when she finds out you stopped fighting for her?
Does she really have to know?
Friday night. Gonna pick Lauren up, or you want me to drop her off?
What?
This weekend. You have Lauren. I'll drop her off. See you Friday.
Tired of Sloppy Joes.
Honey, who chose them?
Full up of Sloppy Joes.
I could eat them every night.
Was Daddy sad when the judge decided? Was he sad?
Well, honey, your daddy and I made a deal that we wouldn't be sad no matter what the judge decided because we knew that it would be best for you. So we knew that.
And the judge just said I should stay here?
Yes.
If the judge sent me to live with Daddy, would you be sad?
Yeah. Yeah, I would be really sad.
So Daddy's probably sad.
Yeah.
I could call him.
That would be really nice.
You are going to heaven.
Ma, do you realize if Leisha had waited a couple days to leave Michael, then Lauren wouldn't be living with us right now?
Don't concern yourself with what ifs. Leisha didn't wait. Could you, wash the dishes tonight?
Yeah. What, are you going out?
I have to visit a friend. I got your letter.
Did you read it?
No. Instead, I thought I'd come and talk to you in person.
I just need for you to understand what happened that night. My lawyer says I'm not allowed to talk to anyone, but I feel like if I don't tell you how it happened, I'll just explode. And if I tell you, you won't hate me.
I don't hate you.
I can tell you don't like me anymore.
Derek, you are confusing anger with hate. What could you explain to me? How you took a knife, like a punk in the street, and ended a man's life. And here you are.
I do it again.
Well, don't say that. Don't you dare say that, Eric Black.
I knew he was coming. He was coming to hurt Amy, and I knew if he couldn't get Amy, he'd go for Lauren.
You knew no such thing.
I grew up in the same world he did. I'm not like you. Or Sean, or Amy. I wish I were, but I'm not.
You are old enough now to choose the world you wish to inhabit.
You'd give up everything for Lauren and Amy, right?
Of course I would.
And I'd give up everything for you.
I am afraid that that is exactly what you have done. And it makes me very angry.
If you just let me tell you the story of what happened, I don't care about the trial. I can't stand the thought of you thinking I'm a bad person. Please, Maxine. I need to tell you how it happened.
All right. Tell me your story.
Noodle. You look so grown up.
How come I can't wear high heels?
Because you're still a kid.
Mom, is Grandma's wedding gonna be fun?
Yeah, sure. There's gonna be music and dancing.
How come Grandma said she'd rather stick a needle in her eye?
Well, that's an old Irish saying that sounds like the opposite of what it means.
Hello.
Hi, Aunt Jillian.
What a gorgeous dress. Now all you need are grown-up shoes.
I know.
Where's Maxine?
Some emergency at work.
But this is crunch time. I need the whole team to execute. A good wedding is like a rocket launch. One little screw-up and you're looking at Apollo 13.
I'm on the team. I'll help.
That's very sweet, Lauren, but this is grown-up time. For example, the wedding cake. How tall does Maxine want it to be?
Grandma doesn't care about the cake.
Well, no.
She says wedding cake tastes like toothpaste and she wants to elope.
Oh.
Did I help?
Here's the thing, Jillian. It's just that for us, the wedding still seems so far away.
Well, I believe in forethought and planning. Please give this questionnaire to Maxine. Have her fill it out as soon as possible.
This is 5 pages long.
Good night, sweetheart. Sleep tight. I hope you have wonderful dreams.
I'd rather stick a needle in my eye.
Oh.
So what do you think? Should I give this to Grandma or should I rip it up?
Aunt Jillian said I should get high heels.
You're right. I'll rip it up. What's next?
Deadbeat dad.
What Mr. Van Exel just whispered into my ear was deadbeat dad. He whispered out of politeness. He's like that, but I have no problem with the term. So are you a deadbeat dad, Mr. Simmons?
I'm not a deadbeat anything, Your Honor. I've never missed a payment for anything I've owed, ever.
My client is a well-regarded small businessman, Your Honor. Simmons Dry Cleaning.
Well-regarded by whom?
Other small businessmen. He overstarches.
There was a time you had a right to comment, Lydia. But once you took up with Mr. Motorcycle there, you gave up that right. Talk to my lawyer.
Hello. In this courtroom, everything goes through me.
All right, fine. I'll tell you. 3 months since he's paid me a cent. I call that missing a payment.
All right, that's true. But listen to what I'm saying here. Our divorce says that I gotta pay for my son. Okay, that's the deal. I'll pay. But it doesn't say I have to support her boyfriend. How many motorcycles does the jerk need?
Okay, I'm sensing a lot of feelings here that might be expressed in a more appropriate arena. I would like both parties to attend mediation with Mr. Van Exel.
Your Honor, I'm certain that Mr. Van Exel is extremely competent as a mediator, but I promise you that given the rancor which exists between my client and her ex-husband...
I concur with complainant's counsel, Your Honor. We have tried and tried to bring the Simmons to some reasonable middle ground.
Believe us, this is going to be solved in court, not through any kind of...
Reasonable interlocution.
I have the utmost faith in Mr. Van Exel. Next case.
Breathe in. That's out. Breathe in like this.
If I breathe in when I already got breath, then my lungs will explode.
That's true. I guess I better work on my timing.
Yeah, you better work on your timing.
Dr. McCarty.
Oh, yeah, Willie, breathe out.
That was a good one.
Yes, it was, baby.
Well, I'm not finding any problems. I think it's safe to take him home.
Are you sure?
Well, whatever it was, it's past. It could have been a passing allergy, one-time asthma attack. It's tough to know. Keep an eye on him.
You're not gonna keep him overnight?
No need.
Is Dr. Redeker in?
She has the night off.
There's no offense. It's just she knows Willie.
She's pretty.
He thinks she's pretty.
She is very pretty, and she's a very good doctor, but so am I, and I'm happy to tell you there's nothing wrong with Willie. You can all go home.
What's going to happen?
Well, we're waiting for a judge to arrive and decide. How's your dolly feeling?
I think she might be cold.
Oh. Take my jacket. Everything's going to be fine, Katie. I promise you.
Maxine.
See? The judge is here. So if you will wait with Lisa, I'll be right back. This has never happened to me before. When I decide to remove a child, the police are supposed to help me, not argue. I know. The whole idea of an administrative hold is to get the child away from the source of danger as quickly as possible, especially when the source of danger is the parents.
We'll clear it up with the judge.
I'm not happy about being dragged into this.
Neither is DCF, Judge Booten.
All right, as I understand it, Ms. Gray is endeavoring to remove a minor child on a 96-hour administrative hold?
In complete accordance with the law.
The 96-hour hold is to be used only in cases when the child is in imminent physical danger, of which there is none.
And you are?
Zach Wiley, the Ordonez's lawyer. I persuaded the police that there was, in fact, no imminent danger and that DCF was acting outside the law.
At which point I decided I needed some direction from someone farther up the food chain.
Miss Gray, what imminent danger to the child did you perceive?
The Ordonez's were having a little party when I dropped by. Mr. Ordonez was having a sexual intercourse under the dining room table with 2 other people, neither of whom was Mrs. Ordonez. She, meanwhile, was upstairs enjoying someone else's company in the bathtub. 3 other bon vivants were screaming with pleasure on the 7-year-old daughter's bed.
Where was the minor child?
Katie was in her closet.
Your Honor, my clients don't deny that the party was a bit out of hand, but Katie was perfectly safe.
The child is traumatized.
Perhaps because she thought she was being kidnapped.
Well, at first glance, I'd say Miss Gray had good reason to remove the child.
Lifestyle issues can be blown out of proportion, as Your Honor is particularly well aware.
Ms. Gray has never taken custody of a child gratuitously, Judge Booten. If she felt the child was in danger, then the child was in danger.
It appears the house is now empty of guests.
Yes, Your Honor. Though I didn't check the attic, so copulation could still be occurring there.
I'm vacating DCF's administrative action and ordering the minor child returned to the custody of her parents pending a hearing.
Your Honor.
The child will be safe tonight, Miss Gray. You will return Katie Ordonez to the custody of her parents.
I will not. Judge Booten, you can order DCF to return Katie Ordonez to her criminally negligent parents, but you cannot order me to do it personally.
I believe I can.
Let's put it to the test, shall we?
Officer, perhaps you would like to inform the Ordonezes of the judge's decision. We'll get him in court, Maxine. She'll be all right.
She will not.
Good night.
You just blackmailed a judge.
I'd love to go through the transcript of the proceedings and have you point out where that happened.
22 years ago, Judge Booten's wife divorced him over allegations of swinging, as I believe it was then called.
Really? I was not aware. Well, in that case, I expect Judge Booten will recuse himself. But I'm not too worried. A lot of these judges lead secret lives. Since your daughter is a judge, I expect you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That's what you told me yesterday. 3 months? Do you have any idea of what might happen to this little girl in 3 months? You do that.
Is my timing bad?
I'm dealing with a small child trapped in a house which is used for orgies.
Oh, my goodness. Can't you do something?
I'm trying to, Jillian.
Any chance you could put your sorrows in a box and just stuff them in the attic?
What an appealing idea that is.
We have several unresolved wedding issues. For example, how many dancers would you like?
Dancers?
Professionals. To get the guests up and moving.
They have those?
Uh-huh. We'll say 6 dancers. Now, where would you like your press conference?
Why am I having a press conference?
Because Jared is rich and famous. 6 TV stations in Connecticut, 2 in Rhode Island the morning of the ceremony. Okay, fine. We'll hold all interviews until after the wedding. Now, you see, we're making some real headway. And the photo shoot is set for 9 a.m.
9 a.m. in the morning?
Hair and makeup at 6.
Jillian, I simply cannot do this. I regret everything about this insanely pompous wedding. I only agreed to this spectacle because I was too lazy to plan anything myself. But I have allowed you to run roughshod over my feelings. Now I am filled with existential dread. I wish I was joining a nunnery. I just had to get that off my chest.
You don't want the wedding? I'll cancel it. I'll uninvite the guests. I'll unrent the hall. I'll do everything else that needs to be done.
Please don't overreact.
You're on your own, Maxine. Go ahead. Have whatever kind of 2-bit wedding you'd like.
Now, what are you going to do?
About my wedding, which is in the future? Nothing. About a little girl in the present who is trapped with dangerous parents because we failed to do our jobs, I don't know.
We didn't fail to do our jobs, Maxine. Judge Booten just didn't want to see those pictures of him wearing nipple clamps in the papers again.
I am not going to let this one go.
Judge made his decision. It's out of our hands. Look, judges and social workers are like rock and paper. Rock wins.
I believe if you check the game, paper covers rock. Rock breaks scissors.
The part you didn't hear is the judges beat social workers.
$2,500 a month I'm supposed to pay. She won't even let me see my kid.
Seeing Joel is not a right, it is a privilege.
Actually, according to the terms of divorce.
Tell him
it's
he's got to pay up already. Joel needs new clothes, hockey equipment.
Harleys, trips to Atlantic City for Mr. Tattoo.
Mr. Simmons, are you able to fulfill your financial obligations?
Yes.
Is your business doing all right?
Absolutely. I have the money, just not for her grease monkey boyfriend.
If we can keep the focus on Joel.
Yeah, what is your fixation on dragging Nick into everything?
Hey, I'm not the one who dragged that pea brain out of a dumpster and into our lives. That was you.
Let's try communicating
Nick is
through me
twice
instead
the
of
man
insulting
you
each
ever
other.
were.
Look, Joel. Okay, let's take the focus off of Nick and keep it on Joel.
All right, fine. Nick is a much better father figure to Joel than he ever was.
Forget Nick. Nick
What
doesn't.
kind of example are you setting for our son? You're warping his image of women, trolling bars, bringing lowlifes home.
Can he talk to me like that?
Yes, you know why? Because I'm Joel's father.
Oh,
Well, being
yeah?
Joel's
no,
father
you're
for-
not.
Not what?
Joel's father. He's not Joel's real father. What does that do to his rights?
Oh, God.
Katie, hello. Why aren't you in school?
Nobody woke up.
Are you alone?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Well, let's look now. Katie, were there people here last night?
Yes, those naked people. When the music started, I went into my castle.
In your closet. Did anyone come into your room?
I don't know. I put all my clothes on top of me, so I couldn't see or hear anything.
How's your dolly? Did she get anything to eat today?
No, she's hungry.
Well, what is her very favorite thing to eat?
Pancakes.
Me too.
Wait, don't wake them up. They get really, really mad if you wake them up.
I'll be very careful. All right. Let's let them sleep, and we'll go get some pancakes. And we'll leave them a little goodbye note.
Apparently, mediation was not a smashing success.
We tried to warn you, Your Honor.
Judge Gray, my client is moving to modify the terms of custody.
To what?
He no longer desires visitation rights.
Fine with me.
Additionally, he also wishes to immediately terminate all child support on the basis that Joel Simmons is not actually his child.
Plus, is there any way I can get back the money I already paid her under false pretenses?
Your Honor, as Joel's guardian ad litem, I will point out that regardless of biological factors, Mr. Simmons is stopped from denying paternity.
I'll take a sperm test.
Has Mr. Simmons been apprised of the law?
I was quite clear, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Simmons, you understand that in the eyes of the law, you are Joel's father.
That's what he said. How can they say I'm his father when I'm not?
Well, because the definition of father is a lot more than a sperm donor.
Is it just me? Or is this crazy? Why should I pay for some other guy's kid?
The law is biased towards the best interest of the child. You have been Joel's father in every sense of the word since he was born. You loved him, didn't you?
Yes. But she made a fool of me. Now she wants me to pay for the privilege of being her fool. Watch out, my friend. She'll snow you someday, same as me.
Mr. Simmons, I don't want to send you to jail,
Thank you.
but I will.
For how long?
Ms. Brady, would you please inform your client that he is about to set off on a terrible path?
Your Honor, I haven't had much success in that area.
Morgan is obstinate and stubborn and pig-headed. You might as well put him in jail right now.
Mr. Bloom, you might want to point out to your client that her lack of discretion is not only going to send her ex-husband to jail, but cut off those child custody payments she wants so badly.
What?
That's what I'm talking about.
He doesn't have to pay if he goes to prison?
This hearing will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. All rise.
You defied a judge and snatched the kid again?
Technically, the first one was during a party. This one was for drug paraphernalia.
Technically, you defied a judge.
What would you have done?
Well, I would have waited at least a week before I pulled a spot check.
If you don't...
Here we are again.
What do you want?
I'm giving you the chance to return, Katie, before I launch several suits against DCF and both of you personally.
That's very generous of you.
We'll take our chances in court.
I'd reconsider. It won't matter to the old lady. She's marrying rich. But you, Mr. Potter, with a foster child in jail for murder, I'm not sure you can bear much more scandal.
Don't hit him, Sean, don't hit him. He'd love it if you hit him.
Okay, then. See you in court.
Been considering the Simmons case?
Please tell me you found a reason to recuse us. Yourself. I meant yourself. You recuse yourself.
I wish. Would you please tell Mr. Bloom that I may want to speak to Joel Simmons tomorrow?
After all you went through about Lauren?
I'm not going to make him choose between two parents, believe me.
I'll make sure he's present. Don't forget your homework on the Weisenberger motion.
Not tonight.
Pardon me?
Bruce, if it's one thing I learned from my custody battle with Michael, it's that I have to be a better mother.
I understand.
And if that means a later docket, it means a later docket.
Okay.
You know, some evenings I have barely 1 hour to spend with Lauren. I spend all of that nagging her to take a bath, do her homework, and then I'm up reading motions till the wee hours.
Wake up cranky?
Yes. Then I start nagging her again. Hurry up, you're gonna be late. It's not good parenting.
Judge Gray, you do not have to explain. I agree with you.
You do? I think I've lost perspective. Hey, do you want to play hooky tomorrow? Take our girls on a picnic?
Now you've lost perspective.
Good. You're still here.
I hear you had quite the exciting day, Mom.
Who told you that?
You're famous. You snatched the same little girl twice, against a judge's orders. As a member of the judiciary, I am shocked and horrified.
The parents have a lawyer, Zach Wiley.
Oh,
You know?
I try to keep him off your docket. He slams up everything he touches.
He has already compromised Judge Booten.
That's quite a charge, Mom.
Are you taking it to the presiding judge?
No, I don't have any evidence.
He's smart.
I have to go back into court. What I need to know is this. How do I pull a judge who will not be intimidated by him?
Well, Ma, I can't steer you toward a judge.
Of course not.
That's unethical. It would be like insider trading.
She really can't.
I apologize, of course. It's just that there's this little girl, and I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll leave.
No, I'll leave. You stay here with the well-connected court services officer while I, the utterly ethical judge, leave.
Sometimes we court services officers get together and we swap stuff on the docket unofficially.
There's no harm in that.
None at all.
Hey, Willie, what brings you back here?
My dad's car. He has a fever.
Any other symptoms?
Like what?
Nausea, cramps, cough, earache?
Yeah.
Which?
All of them. Is Dr. Redeker here tonight?
No, but I'm here. I'm always here.
Sit down, baby.
Robert. Lorraine. Hi, Willie.
I don't want a shot.
Don't worry. I don't think you're gonna need one.
She likes to give shots.
Again, I don't think I'm finding any problems, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to go home.
But he was short of breath about an hour ago.
Maybe you should keep him for observation.
Mr. Edwards, last November 6th, we kept Willie overnight, but nothing was wrong. Again, December 9th, January 3rd, January 16th. We kept him overnight, but everything checked out fine. And then again, last night, you brought him in, and then there was nothing wrong.
Well, by the time we got him here, it passed.
Whatever it was.
What if it happens again?
And doesn't pass.
Dr. McCarty, can we confer for a moment?
Yeah.
Whoa, they're in love.
Dr. Redeker told the Edwards to bring Willie in anytime they were worried, and we'd observe him overnight.
Dr. Redeker said that? Dr. Lily Redeker? Because that doesn't sound like the Dr. Lily Redeker I know and know. She's obsessed with limited resources and picking your battles, and she told them that?
Grandfather stood looking down on the sleeping child until the moon again disappeared behind the clouds and he could see no more. Good night.
Mom, when Grandpa gets married, will Jared be my new grandpa?
Yeah, step grandpa.
Well, what do I call him?
Well, I don't know. I guess figure out something that he'd like. Something that you're comfortable with.
If I call him Grandpa, will you call him Daddy?
Well, the two aren't necessarily linked, Noodle. Besides, I'm a little old to call somebody Daddy.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to call somebody else Daddy if you got married again.
Right.
Are you getting married again?
Well, I guess I'd have to start dating for that to happen.
Well, you better get on that.
Okay. Maybe right after income tax. Good night.
Good night, Mom.
Here, let me do that. There you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I was thirsty.
I can see that. Can I get you anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay, let's get you to bed so you can get some sleep.
I wake up a lot.
That's a fact.
Hey, look!
What?
It's a lucky penny.
That is not just a lucky penny, Willie.
Really?
It's a sleepy penny. It's gonna make you sleep through the rest of the night.
That's amazing.
It certainly would be.
Well, Mr. Simmons, you've had a night to reflect. I'm going to ask you if you will resume child support payments. And if you give me an answer I don't like, I will send you to jail.
Don't be stubborn, Morgan.
Oh, now you care? Because the money river will stop flowing? I'd rather go to jail than pay these people any more money. You ever work in dry cleaning? Jail would be a holiday.
Okay, well, hold on, Mr. Simmons, because there is one person we haven't heard from yet.
Judge Gray, my concern is that Joel hasn't been properly prepared to hear certain information that he may find upsetting.
No one is telling Joel anything, Mr. Singh. We are listening to him. Hi, Joel. I'm Judge Gray. You can come down here.
Hey.
Do you know why you're here?
My mom and dad are arguing about how much my mom lets me see my dad.
And what do you think about that?
They argue all the time.
I mean, what do you think about your father?
Your Honor, aren't we slightly off topic here? We're past visitation.
Ms. Brady, I'm talking to Joel.
If you won't pay child support, Mom says he doesn't deserve to see me.
See? She twists everything.
Joel, when you and your father do see each other, do you do anything fun?
Sure, we go to games. Once we go to Montreal and I got this jersey. Remember that, Dad?
And do you do anything with your dad that you don't do with your mom and Nick?
Long division?
I'm useless at arithmetic. So's Nick.
Go to chopsocky movies. Hockey. Dad's good at hockey. So am I now. Like the best thing, you know what a slap shot is?
Yeah.
Nick tried to show me, but Nick's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah, I'm sure you and Nick get along just fine, but I'm more interested in your relationship with your father.
Nick tried to teach me how to do a slap shot, but it was my dad who knew the secret. Should I tell him?
Yeah,
The secret is you gotta hit the ice exactly 3/4 of an inch behind the puck. Anyway, that's the secret my dad taught me.
Your Honor, surely you're aware of how painful this is for my client.
Well, it should be painful, Miss Brady. Well, thanks, Joel. You can wait out there for a minute.
See ya.
That's kind of a dirty trick.
Kind of, yeah. But, it's important to remember when you turn your back on Joel, you turn your back on something very precious in your life.
Yeah, I withdraw. I withdraw the, whatever. The law's right. I'm his dad.
Mr. Simmons, you've been given a second chance. Don't blow it.
Thank you.
Good morning.
What in heaven's name happened to your hair?
I've been running my fingers through it in a distraught manner.
Sean, if you are still angry with me for removing that
That
child.
is not why I'm distraught. You stopped me from hitting him.
You're welcome.
Oh, I wish I'd hit him.
You would have lost your job and your house.
Would have been worth it. Oh, shoot.
What?
Zach Wiley is bringing civil action against DCF for seizing Katie Ordonez.
Don't worry. DCF is threatened with lawsuits all the time.
This one names you and me personally.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Willie, hi.
Mom! Hi, Daddy.
Hey, did you have a nice time?
Dr. McCarty made me an airplane.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You will be happy to know that Willie had an uneventful night.
Good. Good.
Does he always have this much trouble sleeping?
Yes, he does. Every night.
But not with my sleepy penny.
That worked, huh?
But you better take it now. You look very, very tired.
Thank you, Willie. I'll hold on to this till the next time you come in.
Come on, baby. Thank you, Dr. McCarty. Come on.
Bye, Willie. Just between you and me. The only reason you brought Willie in here was so you could get a good night's sleep, right?
No. It's more for my wife. Yeah.
Oh.
You're not married, so you may not understand.
No, I think I do.
Dr. Redeker said it was okay. She said there was more than one kind of medical emergency.
And as usual, Dr. Redeker was right.
Katie Ordonez is 7 years old. Total strangers come into her house and have sex with her parents. People have sex on her bed. Katie has to hide in her closet.
Don't forget about the drug use.
Ms. Gray photographed this drug paraphernalia at the scene.
That's called a bong, Your Honor.
I know what it is. I'm not your grandmother.
Your Honor, DCF brought these same so-called facts before Judge Booten less than 48 hours ago. He ruled against them.
Technically, it's a separate issue, Judge Drabowski.
Nonsense. Pitch it any way you want. Miss Gray defied Judge Booten's wishes.
No, Judge Drabowski, I would never do that. The first seizure was for sex, the second for drugs.
Ms. Gray is well known for her cowboy mentality. She's flaunting her disregard for the law.
I don't hold with social workers defying judges.
I can assure you, Miss Gray's only consideration was for the safety of the child.
You've known me for years. I am not a cowboy.
Pending a civil action against Mr. Potter, Ms. Gray, and DCF, I demand Ms. Gray be suspended immediately.
Ms. Ordonez, is this true about the group sex and the drugs?
It's grossly overstated, Your Honor.
But do you have sex with various people on Katie's bed?
No, not me. That was somebody else.
That was definitely against the rules we set out for the party.
Well, it's good to have rules. Who were these people having sex on Katie's bed?
Well, they were new to our group, so we don't know them very well.
They know them well enough to have sex, but not well enough to catch their names?
All right. Let me ruminate.
Judge Drabowski?
I'm thinking. It's my opinion that Judge Booten was hasty in overturning the initial seizure of the child.
Excellent. Your Honor, before you rule, I'm moving that you recuse yourself from this case.
Why?
Because Mr. Ordonez is a person of color. He's Latino, Your Honor.
Says Latino, so?
Well, you have removed 8 children of color from their parents in the last 4 months.
Are you implying there's a pattern of racism in my decisions?
No, Your Honor. Such a charge wouldn't be made here in court, but rather in the Judicial Review Committee.
See what he does. You apologize for that remark immediately, Mr. Wiley.
I cannot apologize for the truth, Your Honor.
You're defying the direct order of a judge in open court.
I'm within my rights.
That's called contempt of court, Mr. Wiley.
In what world?
In my world, Mr. Wiley. Welcome to it. You take this man into custody for contempt of court.
Fine. I withdraw the comment.
No, too late.
You had better rethink, Judge Drabowski. You have the reputation of an aging judge. Allegations of racism and erratic behavior could very well taint the end of what has been a long and well-regarded career.
Go ahead. This is my last day. I retired. And who cares about the reputation of a retired judge? Get him out of here. And if he tries to escape, shoot him. Do you see what happens to people who defy judges, Miss Gray?
I assure you, Judge Drabowski, I have learned my lesson.
Good. I confirm the order of temporary custody and give over Katie Ordonez to your care. Next case.
Honey, is this too salty?
Since when are you so fussy?
Not for you. They're for Mr. Van Exel.
Who came through for you, huh?
I'm not proud of manipulating the system, but he came through for me big.
Well, we had a policy on muffins and bribery.
We do. Cookies are bribes, and we are against them in most cases. Muffins say thank you, and we are for them.
As long as we're consistent. So, Mom, Lauren thinks that it's time for me to start dating.
That's only because she has not been privy to the many dating disasters in your past. The too old one, the too young one, the too sensitive.
Okay, the point is that she stopped thinking that Michael and I should get back together.
She's growing up.
It's kind of sad, isn't it?
Very, very sad. Yet not in a bad way.
May I come in?
Jillian, of course. You're always welcome.
Well, I thought maybe after yesterday, I didn't actually cancel anything, you know. I was upset.
Hi, Jillian. And excuse me, I have to go to the kitchen to get something.
Jillian, I have undervalued all the work that you have done on behalf of Jared and me, and you have every right to be annoyed.
I get caught up in things and all the excitement with the wedding. And I thought if I left it to you and Amy, you'd end up marrying a billionaire in your living room. And I don't mean that as a snotty comment.
I know. We're fine.
Okay, I'm back with this.
I understand that you need me to back off. I know what a pain I can be. And really, I just want you and Jared to have the wonderful wedding that you so deserve.
Okay, are you all ready?
Ready for what?
Oh. Oh, my.
Oh, my God.
I look good, don't I?
Yes, like a grown-up. Too much of a grown-up.
Yeah, honey, I think you're a little too young for makeup and high heels.
Mom!
Might I offer a compromise?
I'm not sure yet.
No makeup, but perhaps a shoe with a modest heel.
Oh, there are the cutest sling-back heels.
Okay, sure, fine.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom!
Well, I guess I should go. If you decide that you need some help, then, well, I'm happy to chip in a moderate way.
Jillian, the fact is I could use a little help.
Really?
Not as much as before, just a little.
I understand. So, what did we decide on the dancers and the cake? Did we pick a number?
I do not want dancers.
Oh, believe me, you'll be happy that I hired them. But we really need 2 cakes. One for decoration and one for eating.
I don't want 2 cakes.
You'll be happy on the day, believe me. Oh, Maxine, you see, one cake is more for show and for cutting, and the other cake is more for taste. You might want a third to freeze for when you renew your vows on your 10th anniversary. A lot of couples find that it's the perfect time to amp up the old romance level. I guess the 7-year itch has become the 10-year itch. Who knew?
Oh, you swear? On whose grave? He said that? Get out. No, you're making that up. Cause that's just like you. Man, you gotta do better than that.
Claire, when Robert has finished his urgent business, would you remind him that I'm still waiting for him to locate the J. Gonzalez file? Kimberly Found's desk. Please hold. Kimberly! There's a call for you.
I'm busy.
Yes, I see that. And I would appreciate it if you would not go through my files. I can find whatever it is you're looking for.
Maxine, there's a meeting in the conference room in half an hour.
Oh, good. You know how much I love those.
You know, it would make my life so much easier if you could just set an example. Or at the very least, keep the eye rolling to a minimum.
Excuse me. Kimberly, get your bony fingers out of my file drawers now before I come over there and kick your scrawny little conniving ass from here to next September and back again. I'll be very good at the meeting.
In the matter of Joanna Bowden, age 15, charged with conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder, the intended victim being Mitchell Bowden, Joanna's father. Let's start with introductions.
Teresa Willings, representing the state, Your Honor.
Leonard Zook, representing Miss Bowden. This is Liz Fulper, her guardian ad litem.
And you are?
Mitchell Bowden, Joanna's father.
And Joanna's mother?
Deceased, Your Honor. 5 years now.
Counsel?
Your Honor, Joanna Bowden and her father have had a troubled relationship ever since the death of her mother. Things came to a head when Joanna was forbidden to see her boyfriend, one Zane Hanley. At which point, Joanna and Zane concocted a plan to stage a robbery which would result in the death of Mr. Bowden, leaving Romeo and Juliet free to cavort.
Your Honor.
Yeah, let's lose the sarcasm, Ms. Willings. Mr. Zook, your turn.
Your Honor, my client was indeed infuriated with her father. She made offhand remarks to Zane Hanley about wanting him dead. But this entire incident is based on a misunderstanding, which we will prove.
Mr. Hanley, for Your Honor's information, was charged as an adult. He pled to a lesser charge in exchange for his testimony in this matter.
In other words, he's highly motivated to present damaging testimony here in addition to his other stellar qualities.
Excuse me. Does the no sarcasm rule apply only to me?
No. And the no preening and posturing rule applies to everyone. Mr. Bowden, I'm curious as to why you're sitting on that side of the room.
I wanted to support my daughter, Your Honor. These are very serious charges.
All right. Well, Ms. Kozlowski, when will I hear testimony?
Tomorrow. At probably 11-ish.
I'll see everyone tomorrow at 11. Thank you.
Okay, next on the list gets custody of a parrot named Francis. How long have you had Francis?
46 years. We bought her right after we were married.
No. He was a wedding present from your crazy mother.
No, Jane, we bought her as a wedding present to each other. And you wanted that gas barbecue grill instead. I had to talk you into getting her.
No. Your mother left him on the back porch with a nice red bow on his cage.
No. We bought her at the pet shop. I still have the receipt.
Okay. Can we at least pin down the bird's gender?
It's a boy. We named him. We named him after Frank Sinatra.
No, you named him after Frank Sinatra, Jane. I named her after Francis Farmer.
Okay, never mind. We'll just refer to the parrot as Francis. Is that with an I or an E?
E.
I'll just dot the E, and everybody's happy. So currently, Francis is living with which one of you?
Me. Arthur is sleeping in the guest room. Francis is staying in the den, which is on my side of the house.
Excuse me, your side of the house? Where is your side of the mortgage payment? Which is your side of the leaky roof?
Okay.
The man asked me where the bird lives. I was telling him where the bird lives.
Look, Jane, listen to me. The bird...
Oh, for pity's sake. Does anyone have a penknife? Perhaps I could write in my own blood.
Maxine, dial it down. We got company.
What company?
It's Dr. Sally Godwin, Regional Director of Human Resources. Rumor has it she's a strong candidate for city manager.
Yes, I know.
This is probably some kind of spot check, so you might want to consider that.
Thank you, Robert.
Oh, Sally, here are two valuable members of my team, Robert Clifton and the legendary Maxine Gray.
Well, I'll say one thing for you. You have a great plastic surgeon. That nose looks almost real.
Yes, well, obviously I should give you his number.
Where have you been? You never write, you never call.
Oh, God. Last couple of years have been insane. I wrote a book, I went on tour, blah, blah, blah. But I've been keeping track of you in the society column.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
So, you two know each other.
Very observant. Sean?
Maxine and I were college roommates. And then we were waist deep in the Big Muddy for a long time.
15 years, side by side in the trenches, until Miss Too Smart for Social Work decided to put on the business suit.
Yeah, right. Too smart nothing. It was too much of a wimp. I never had your stamina, Maxine. But you know how that goes. Those who can't play ball end up coaching, right? Speaking of balls, I brought you something.
You didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
In college, this is Maxine's idea of a midnight snack. The rest of us couldn't even watch.
Neither can I. It was nice to meet you.
And you, thank you.
So, this is purely a social call. Right?
Yes, relax. I'm just here to see Maxine. We have years of information to catch up on.
We certainly do.
I'm taking you to dinner. We have reservations at La Cucina at 7.
Perfect. Plenty of time to digest the snowball. I have work to do, and I'm delighted about dinner.
Me too.
Is this golden brown?
No.
Are you sure? It's not even brown. It's sort of maple, but it's definitely not golden.
Well, it's been cooking forever. Should I turn up the heat?
I think we live too far north for anyone to be frying chicken.
I told you to get Kentucky Fried. They have popcorn chicken.
It's not too late for me to run out.
No. I'm frying chicken and you're eating it. How hard can it be?
I think we're about to find out.
Anybody in the mood for a surprise?
Oh, God. Nobody's called me that in years. Hi, honey. Oh, my. Peter. Peter, some sort of rodent has died on your face. Yeah, baby. Oh, my gosh. And who is this?
Our son, Ned.
And what is this?
A girl named Rachel.
Michelle. We're hoping.
And who is this? And what happened to that squalling infant?
I'm Lauren.
I know who you are. I babysat for you on a couple of occasions.
Did I like you?
Yeah, you pretended to.
Sassy is Mom's coolest friend. She used to get me inappropriate gifts. She taught me how to dance.
Oh, you're responsible for that.
And she turned me on to Henry Miller and Colette.
Did she? Well, you were having to read Dreiser, for God's sake. Somebody had to rescue her.
Are you staying for dinner? Mom's trying chicken.
In a manner of speaking.
Amy, it's way past golden.
No, we're dining at La Cucina. And afterwards, we might go out for an after-dinner drink. And we might stay up very, very late.
If we don't doze off over our appetizers.
Let's try to stay optimistic. I'm going to change into something fancier so I don't embarrass my coolest friend.
So, about this fella. Is he good enough for our Maxine?
Absolutely, he's top notch.
I need Amy's approval.
Yeah, he's great.
We all love him, Sally.
Yeah? Well, does he know if he doesn't make her happy, there's a cranky old politician with a PhD who will kick his billionaire ass?
So sassy. You know, I'm only up to date as far as Carl.
Which Carl?
There's been more than one Carl?
Well, it's a much more common name.
Oh my, thank you. Thank you, fool.
Okay. After Carl, the weatherman at Channel 2.
Isn't he gay?
Not anymore. Thank you. And then a motivational speaker. Used to shout out affirmations during sex.
What kind of affirmations?
I am an excellent lover. I am sensitive and caring. Women love to be with me. I possess top-notch equipment. I know how to use it.
If you could just dial it down a notch, please.
Sally, it's wonderful to see you. You too. Seeing you makes me miss you. What's up?
Well, I was hoping we could have another glass of wine before we got into it.
Did they send you to fire me?
For one thing, I am they. I send people to fire people. And for another, do you need firing?
Am I under review?
I'm afraid so.
Is this because I seized a child against the wishes of a judge? Or because a foster child murdered a stalker in my backyard?
Maxine, nobody knows better than I how you can ruffle feathers and how much it doesn't matter.
It's good of you to come and tell me.
Well, it's better than that. I'm conducting the review.
Isn't that a conflict of interest?
Absolutely. But what are friends for? We'll spend a couple of days together out in the field, huh? Like old times. By the time I finish with your review, they're going to give you a raise, name a building after you.
To Carl.
To Carl. Which one?
Okay, Rochelle, deep breath. That dog looks like he's had a busy life. What's his name?
Sparkle.
What? That's just silly. That's not a sparkly dog. Dog needs a serious name like Chief or Maxwell or Gus.
I like Sparkle.
Well, look at him. He's embarrassed by that name. I'm on your side, pal. I'm calling you Gus.
Can I go home now?
In a little while. You and Gus hang out here and I'll be right back, okay? All right. Hey, I've got a problem.
Good, that means I don't.
4-year-old in exam 2 with papillomavirus.
Who brought her in?
Parents. Do I tell them before I call DCF?
No. If the father's the abuser and you mention a sexually transmitted disease, he'll likely grab the kid and bolt. It'll take DCF an hour on a good day to get down here.
That's my problem.
Tell DCF it's a rush and tell the parents you're doing more tests.
All right.
But Kyle, don't run more tests. We can't afford it.
I'm on to the drill by now. Mr. and Mrs. Cobbs. I've got the card.
These files are only for me. My ready reference system. IR, incorrigible runaways. You know, when I get the call, I can quickly look to see where they turned up last time. WBH. Wacky, but harmless. For example, the...
Maxine, line 2.
Maxine Gray. Hello, Kyle. When was she admitted? All right, stall the parents. I will get there as soon as I can. It's my nephew, Richard's son. He's a resident at St. Mike's, and I am ludicrously proud of him.
Sounded like official business.
He was diagnosed a 4-year-old with STD.
And he called you directly?
It's never happened before, but it is the right move. Are you coming with me?
I've never been really nuts about field work, Maxine.
You are here to observe me, are you not?
It was a little after 11 p.m. I was just sitting down to watch the news when I heard Joanna scream. Naturally, that scared the hell out of me, so I ran toward the sound. There was this man in a ski mask holding a gun to Joanna's head. I screamed at him not to hurt her. I said I'd give him money, whatever he wanted. And then he just turned the gun on me and shot.
Where did he shoot you?
Here, in the upper chest. A shoulder, whatever you call it.
When he shot you, did she scream?
I don't recall.
Really? Because your memory was pretty clear at the motion to suppress hearing, shall I remind you of your testimony?
I don't believe she screamed, no.
After the guy in the ski mask shot you, what happened next?
I fell over. It really hurt. I was surprised how much. I couldn't breathe very well.
Did the guy in the ski mask ransack the house?
No.
Your Honor, we don't dispute the fact that Zane Hanley came into the house with the intention of shooting Mr. Bowden. Can we stop calling him the guy in the ski mask?
Miss Willings. Fine. I don't care if we call him Spider-Man. I'm just trying to paint a picture.
Mr. Bowden, after Zane Hanley shot you, what happened?
He grabbed Joanna by the arm and they ran out the door. I crawled to the window and I saw them get into Zane's car. I recognized that car.
As you watched them drive away, what were you thinking?
I don't know.
Were you thinking, Zane Hanley kidnapped my daughter at gunpoint?
No, I wasn't thinking that. Frankly, I was wishing he'd been a better shot.
Why?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Signs of abuse.
I'm afraid so.
What, physical or sexual abuse? Rochelle has genital warts. Warts?
Warts are a sign of sexual abuse?
Warts is a sexually transmitted disease.
DCF's going to have to investigate.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Are you going to take her away?
Perhaps we can find out what happened before Rochelle is released from the hospital.
And the other children?
I'm ordering that all the children be checked by a doctor.
You're not removing them?
I'd like both of you to agree to an examination as well.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you suggesting?
I'm asking for your consent to an examination.
Yeah, not without talking to a lawyer first.
What do you say? Oh my God. Of course we will.
No. Don't you understand? They're accusing me. They think I did this. It's a terrible thing. You're saying You're terrible women. All of you. Accusing innocent people.
We need to find out how Rochelle was infected.
Jeanette. We gotta stick together on this. No. You gotta trust me. They're gonna take away the kids. Jeanette!
Oh my God, get off of me! Off
Jeanette?
of me! Now I remember why I hate working in the field.
How often would you say it is that you and your father have that kind of fight?
Like screaming and yelling and stuff. Once a week, maybe.
So this isn't anything out of the ordinary?
I might have been a little madder than usual.
Because he told you he didn't want you going out with Zane anymore.
Yes, because he doesn't know Zane. He just makes judgments based on how he's dressed and because he has his eyebrow pierced.
Okay, so you storm over to Zane's house, you tell him about the fight, you're still really angry. Then what happened?
I said something stupid, but I didn't mean it.
What did you say?
I said that sometimes I fantasize that...
Yes?
Sometimes I fantasize that my father died in an accident or something. And then I'd go to court and get myself declared an adult. You know, like, I don't know, some actor kid did it. And then I could live in his house and run my own life.
And what did Zane say about that?
He asked me how it happened in my fantasy. I said sometimes a car wreck or sometimes a robber would break in and shoot my father and take me hostage. Then later I'd get away and come home, but my father would be dead.
Then did you say, I have an idea. Why don't you pretend to be a robber and act out my fantasy and kill my father?
No.
Did you say anything like that?
No, never. But that must have given him the idea.
Objection, conjecture.
Sustained.
Did Zane tell you anything about any plans to come to your house that night?
No. He just showed up at my house with a gun and a ski mask and said, okay, let's do it.
And after he did that, did you say, great idea, and just go along with him?
No, I tried to stop him. I said I didn't mean it and don't hurt my dad, but he was like, he was crazy. He just grabbed me like he was a robber and he dragged me down the hall and I was screaming. And my father came running and Zane just shot him.
And after he shot your dad?
He grabbed my arm and said, come on, and I didn't know what to do, so I just ran.
Were you afraid of Zane? After he shot your dad?
Wouldn't you be?
Yes, I think I would be. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, we need to get more facts on the table so we can see where there might be room for some give and take.
Oh, she knows all about take. You'll have to show her give in the dictionary.
Tell me more about why you're getting a divorce.
I thought we were talking about Francis here.
Okay, let's talk about Francis. He started pulling his feathers out right after you started running around with that lettuce tramp. And the vet said it was stress.
She's the produce manager.
Oh.
Are you telling me that you're seeing someone else?
Listen, ask him when he started seeing the lettuce tramp. Right after I started chemo. Can you believe it?
You are a chemotherapy patient.
Told you it looked real.
I didn't say it looked fake. I said it makes you look like an old woman.
When I first put it on, Francis looked at me and said, pretty.
Yeah, Francis says pretty when Ted Koppel comes on.
Okay. If I can just interject here. I've seen situations like this before. Couples getting older. One of them gets a life-threatening disease. And suddenly, when they should be pulling together, they're at each other's throats. Sometimes this is stress caused by the fear of being alone.
I'm not going to be alone. I'm going to be with Francis.
No, I'm going to be with Francis.
No, I am.
No, I am.
Oh, stop.
His sexual target is now unavailable, and he may turn his attention to another child.
There's not a single indication the father is the abuser.
He refused to submit to a medical exam. That alone is enough to allow you to protect the other children.
Maxine's not often wrong about this sort of thing. I hope you won't hold that opinion against me.
Mr. Potter, what is the standard operating procedure in this situation?
The standard operating procedure would be removing the children.
Thank you. So what are you going to do instead?
I've sent Robert to interview the family babysitter and daycare. Kimberly, God help us, is talking to the extended family. I would like to talk to a few of Rochelle's friends.
And you think she might have confided in another child?
I think I have to look at every possibility until I come up with something stronger than conjecture. That's my standard operating procedure.
You're the caseworker. I'm merely here to observe.
So when Joanna described the robbery scenario to you, did she say it was a fantasy of hers?
No.
Did she mention a car wreck, a plane crash, or any other scenario?
No, it wasn't like that.
So lay it out for us. She had a fight with her father. She came storming over to your house?
No.
No?
She wasn't mad by the time she got to my house. She was all hyper. And right away, she said she had a plan. She knew how we could get her father out of the way, and she'd end up with all his money.
And this plan was the fake robbery?
Objection. Leading.
Your Honor, in the interest of not being here all day.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yeah, she had it all worked out. I'd come over after they went to bed, I'd pretend to kidnap her, take her father's wallet, and shoot him on the way out. Then she'd pretend to get away and call the cops.
That's a lie.
Miss Bowden.
Why are you doing this? He's making this up.
You know I'm not.
Why are you doing this?
Okay, let's settle down. Ms. Willings.
Your Honor, I'd like to refer to Exhibits 1 and 2. Thank you. Zane, do you recognize this?
Yeah, it's a blow-up of a map I gave you.
And who gave the map to you?
Joanna.
Will you please tell the court what this is?
It's a floor plan of her house. She drew it for me so I could see how to get to her room and then her father's room because I hadn't been in the house except for the basement.
And what are these numbers on the side?
That's the alarm code in case her father turned on the alarm.
Your Honor, I'd also like to submit into evidence the forensics report on the note, which confirms, as stipulated, two sets of fingerprints belonging to Zane Hanley and Joanna Bowden.
You said you love me, liar!
Yeah, well, you said we'd get away with it.
Well, you're the one who blew it.
Me, I blew it?
You weren't supposed to miss.
Gregory Bolsevich, please stay. The rest of the class dismissed. You don't need a warrant or something?
We're social workers, not cops.
And his parents don't need to be present?
No. We've cleared this with the police if you would like to check.
Gregory, my name is Maxine Gray. This is Sally Godwin, and we work for the government. Do you know what that means?
Am I in trouble?
No. We want to talk about Rochelle Cobbs.
I don't know her.
Gregory, that's not true. You live next door to her. You're friends with all the Cobbs. Why would you lie? Gregory, Rochelle is in the hospital.
Why? Did she say I hurt her? Because I never hurt her.
I thought you said you didn't know her.
Sally, we're worried that whatever it is that's making Rochelle sick might make the people around her sick too.
What kind of sick?
It's the kind of sick that people can get when they touch each other. Did you touch Rochelle? Did she touch you? Gregory?
She wanted to.
All right. I understand. It's going to be all right. Now, here's what I think. I think maybe someone touched you the way that you touched Rochelle. Is that true?
No. No.
Gregory, I need you to look at me. Please look at me. Gregory. All right. Who touched you the way that you touched Rochelle?
My stepfather.
Thank you.
I hope it's not too late.
For you, never. Is this a business call? Are you looking for dinner?
I just thought maybe we talk a little, huh?
If you came over just to give me a chance to gloat or to apologize for doubting me, it really wasn't necessary. I abandoned that pusillanimous crap ages ago.
Sassy!
Hey!
You guys planned another wild night on the town?
Nah, not tonight. In fact, we have some bureaucratic nonsense to talk over, so.
Oh. I guess I'll eavesdrop from the stairs.
What is it, Sally?
Maxine, the way you handled the Cobbs case, I've gone through some of your files. You got some things here.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. You, slammed a gas tank door on a boy's penis?
He was urinating in my car. Anyway, I went to anger management for that. Not to mention helping the boy find placement.
You once had a fellow DCF worker impersonate a cop.
We saved a boy from being beaten to death.
You insulted the lieutenant governor on the evening news and refused to apologize.
I'm kind of proud of that one.
A girl runs away from rehab boot camp. You send her back, and she commits suicide.
Sally, these are at-risk children. Some of them don't make it, you know that.
You take a girl out of her foster home, send her back to her abusive parents where she shoots and kills her stepfather.
What has happened to you?
To me? These are not minor events, Maxine. These are character quirks. These are bad judgment calls with enormous consequences.
And for every one of them, there are 100 children that I have kept from falling through the cracks. I have spent my life saving children. I didn't hide behind desks and degrees and politics. I built every one of the rungs on the ladder you're so busy climbing.
You know why I got out, Maxine? Because I wasn't willing to assume the hubris required to muck around in people's lives and maneuver them like they're chess pieces and, make up rules. Well, that's the only way you could get things done, you said. Well, I couldn't do it. I couldn't play God like that.
These children live in a godless place. Somebody has to fill the void. And in order to do that, you have to get your hands dirty. Not to mention your ridiculous designer shoes and your heritage pearls.
Well, that's a relief. After all this time, wondering if it was my success that you resented, wondering if that was the reason you stopped coming around.
Coming around? Coming around where? I can't keep up with you. You've got a different house, and a different job, a different title every 5 minutes. Your appetite for public recognition is insatiable. It always was. And the reason that you stopped doing this work is because you don't get awards for it, and you can't live like that.
Maxine, you held yourself back when you were married to Edward because you didn't want to out-succeed him.
Oh, for God's sake.
Which is pretty difficult to do, considering what little ambition he had. You're marrying a billionaire now. You are safe to achieve. But you burned so many bridges, you don't have much of a career left.
God, I hope that's true. And if you want my present job, please take it, because I have tried to crawl out of this quagmire for years. But I am so irresponsible and ineffectual, they won't let me leave. And as far as your personal remarks are concerned, I just want to say, Sally, get the hell out of my house!
You forced my hand, Maxine.
Get out! Now!
Wow, this must be the famous Francis. I guess you got my message.
I don't see the point in hauling her over here. It's not like she can talk.
Well, he most certainly can talk.
Jane, he knows 3 words. Hello, pretty, and TV.
He also says dinner time.
She said dinner time once, 10 years ago, and you've been reliving it ever since.
Hello.
I hope you don't mind. I asked Donna to join us. We often ask her to help out when there's pets involved. You might have read about her or her colleagues. She's the pet psychic.
I have read about those, yes. So you can read the thoughts of animals?
Well, sort of. You could say that.
Oh, come on, that's a bunch of poppycock.
Listen, they can do anything nowadays.
She can't read animals' minds.
Hell, Arthur, they can make sheep from scratch.
Well, let's give Donna a chance and see how it goes.
Okay.
Well, this bird is not a happy bird.
Are you sensing stress?
This bird's under a lot of stress.
Yeah, who isn't?
He feels Francis is concerned about someone's health issues. I believe yours. And some infidelity issues.
I think we've beaten that horse to death, don't you?
Oh, I don't know. Don't ask me. Ask him.
No, anything else, Donna?
Yes. Francis thinks all this divorce talk is really just. Let me get this straight. He thinks it's most likely a knee-jerk reaction to the fear of being alone.
That's what he said.
Well, Francis thinks that if people can stick together for the sake of their children, then the 3 of you can tough it out through anything for the sake of the family.
I can do it if he can.
I'm only doing this for you. Francis.
I don't think any of you are on the edge of your seat wondering how I'm going to rule. The state has done a thorough job of proving its case, and I find Joanna Bowden delinquent as to all charges. Given the gravity of the offense, I am sentencing you to be committed to DCF with initial placement at the state training school until your 18th birthday, with a 3-year probation following that. You cannot imagine what you have put your father through. And I'm not talking about the fear or the physical pain or having to sit through this trial. You don't know what it's like to love a child. One day you're a normal, self-centered, pleasure-seeking individual, and then you become a parent and you realize that you would place yourself in front of the worst horrors imaginable just to keep that child safe. Your father asked you to stay away from Zane because he wanted to keep you safe. And while you're busy weeping because Zane turned on you, the person who loves you hired an attorney to defend you after you tried to take his life. I'd like you to think about that, and maybe that thought will pierce your apparently glacial heart, and someday you'll realize what you've done. Because if you don't realize it, I don't know what's going to happen to you in your adult life. But it won't be good. And it shouldn't be.
Gregory Bozovich has tested positive for genital warts, as has his stepfather.
The boy was reenacting his own abuse from Rochelle Cobbs?
I don't know. It might have been just an innocent game of doctor. Let's leave that up to the psychologists. The important thing is the adult abuser has been identified and charged.
You were right.
Miss Godwin, Nice to see you again.
May I have a moment to say goodbye to an old friend?
He's a good one, Sally. A very good one. Of course, a recommendation from me might not work in his favor.
Maxine, I admit it, you were right.
But?
But it looks like luck.
It isn't luck.
It looks like luck. The standard operating procedures exist so that luck doesn't play a part in it. And I wasn't the one filing this report. If it was someone who didn't know you,
I see.
but I do know you. I know you're the best social worker in the world. But it's only because I know you.
If you weren't my friend.
But I am your friend.
I hope you'll come to my wedding.
Of course I will. Bye, Maxie.
Goodbye, Sally.
Mom, it's freezing out here.
Yes, it keeps people away.
Well, not me, right?
You may stay if you agree to look quietly at the stars.
Oh, look. There's the Big Dipper over there. And there it is over there. And over there. Don't they all look like the Big Dipper? Think anybody can actually see the constellations? I think the astronomers were making things up and just laughing their asses off.
Amy?
I don't like it when you get quiet and sit in the dark. Did you and Sally make up?
Oh, sure. It'll never be the same.
Why not?
Things were said. Damage was done, can't be undone.
Oh, sure it can. Time will take care of that.
I remember when I used to believe things like that. For a job that doesn't pay anything, it certainly has cost me a lot. I think you're right about the stars.
আচ্ছা আপনি ওই দিন আপনার আম্মার সামনে আমার লগে এরকম ব্যবহার করছেন কেন?
আমার ইচ্ছে হয়েছে আমি করছি আর আমার পিছে ঘুরে লাভ নেই।
কেন? আমি আপনার ভালোবাসি না, করবো না কেন?
বেহায়া মেয়ে রে বাবা, তোমার তো আমি ক্লিয়ার করে বলছি যে আমি তোমার বিয়ে করব না।
আরে আপনার আম্মাই তো আমার পছন্দ করতো, তো আপনি শাদি করবেন না কেন?
তাহলে তারই বিয়েটা করো।
জি জি জি, আস্তাগফিরুল্লাহ, কি কইতাছেন? আমি আপনার আম্মারে কেন শাদি করব? আমি তো আপনার শাদি করব। আর আপনি যদি আমার শাদি না করতেন তাহলে কয়ে দিলাম ব্লেড দিয়ে আপনার নাম আমার হাতে লিখুন।
তোমার যা ইচ্ছা তুমি তাই করো, আমি একদমই ভয় পাই না। আগের বার মাইনে নিছি, খেলা ছিল দেখা, এটা খেলা না, এটা আমার জীবন। আমি জীবন নিয়ে ছেলে খেলা করতে পারবো না।
আমি হাঁচা হাঁচা কইতেছি, আমি কিন্তু ব্লেড দিয়ে
হাতে পায়ে গলায় মুখে সব জায়গায় যেখানে ইচ্ছা সেখানে লেখো, ইংরেজি বাংলা ফার্সি যেটাতে পারো সেটাতেই লেখো, আমার কিচ্ছু যায় আসে না।
আপনার আমি শেষবারের মতো কইতাছি, আপনার আর বেশি সময় দিব না, শুধুমাত্র 12 ঘন্টা সময় দিলাম। এই 12 ঘন্টার মধ্যে আপনি আপনার মত বদলাইবেন, নাহলে কইলাম আমি হাঁচায় ব্লেড দিয়ে আপনার নাম লিখে ফেলাম, আমার কেউ আটকাইতে পারবো না।
আরামসে তুমি সিগারেট টানো, বুঝে নাই শান্তিতে, আর ওদিক দিয়ে কাম সারছে।
আরে শুনোস না, ওই মেয়ে তো ডেঞ্জারাস একটা ঘটনা ঘটায় ফেলছে। লেট দিয়ে হাত কাটছে, এখন কি হইব মামা?
ওই মেয়েটা
বস কি মামা?
হাত কেন? ওই মেয়ের তোর কোনো কথা হয়েছিল?
কালকে রাত্রেবেলা বাসার সামনে এসে দাঁড়ায় ছিল, আমার 12 ঘন্টার আলটিমেটাম দিছে।
এই কিসের আলটিমেটাম দিছে রে? হ্যাঁ,
আরে ওই বিয়াতে রাজি না হইলে কি জানি।
এই কথা তুই আগে কবি না।
আরে আমি কি বুঝছি নাকি?
আরে না বাবার কি আছে, বুঝোস না, মেয়েটা তো ডেঞ্জারাস। এখন যদি কিছু হয়ে যায় মামা, আমাকে তো পুলিশে ধরে নিয়ে যাবে।
আমি কি করছি?
ও আমি কি করছি কিছু জানো না? না ওই বেটা আইনার মারপে জানো, জীবনে তো থানায় তুই যাস্তে জানবি কেন? থানায় আমি গেছি জানি। ফোন যে কোনো হলে আত্মহত্যা প্ররোচনকারী যেই হোক না কেন, তার নাম যদি একবার থানায় গিয়ে কয় মামা, তাহলে তোর খবর আছে। এখন তুই কি করবি তুই চিন্তা করে দেখ।
কি করছে সব? এই লাইলি বাইচা আছে তো?
হ্যাঁ শুনলাম ও তো বাইচা আছে।
কোন হসপিটাল আছে? আমি যাই একটু দেখা করে আসি।
হসপিটালে যাই দেখা করে, হসপিটাল থাকলে তখন তুমি চৈত শিকার ভিত্তি থাকলা, বুঝো নাই? আর তুমি যে হয়তো বাসায় আছে। এই তুই কি ওর বাসায় যাবি?
তুই যাবি মামা?
হায় রে খোদা, তুমি আইছো। আমি জানতাম তুমি আইবা। আমি লাইলে রে কইছি তুমি আসবা। চ্যাংরা হও আর রক্ত গরম হও, মানুষ তো। তোমার মনের ভিতরে সেই প্রেমটা আছে।
আচ্ছা আমি লাইলির সাথে একটু দেখা করবো।
লাইলির সাথে দেখা করবা?
কেমন আছে ও?
আছে বাবা, আসো আসো, তোমার আমি একটু দেখা করাতে আসো।
এইসব কি?
প্লেট দিয়ে তোমার নাম লিখছি, বানান ঠিক আছে?
একদম ঠিক আছে। কিন্তু কি বলো বাইক না, ভালো হয়েছে না? আমি কিন্তু লাইলিতে কইছিলাম যে লাইলি একটা ছবি তুইলা ওরা পাঠাই দে। ভাই কইছে যে না, কিছু জিনিস আছে এগুলো ছবি তুলে পাঠালে সঠিকভাবে দেখা যায় না, সামনাসামনি দেখতে হয়। এর লেগে তো এতক্ষণ ধরে তোমার জন্য অপেক্ষা করতেছি।
এইসব পাগলামির কোনো মানে আছে?
আছে না, তোমার আমি শাদি করব, তুমি আমার শাদি করবা, করবা না?
এই তুমি কি আমার বলদ পাইছো? বলদ এই পাশে দাঁড়ানো লোকটার মতো।
নিলে তুমি আমার মামার নিয়ে কি করতেছো?
আমি বলবো তুমি শুনবা। মানে এই যদি তোমার হাত কাটার নমুনা হয়, হ্যাঁ আমি জানলে আমি জীবনেও আসতাম না। আর যদি হাত সত্যি সত্যি কাটতাও তাও আসতাম না, কোনো লাভই হতো না। আমি তোমারে বিয়ে করব না। তোমার মতো মেয়ের সাথে শুধুমাত্র মজা নেওয়া যায়, বাড়ির বউ করা যায় না। তোমার মধ্যে ওই রকম কোনো এলিমেন্টই নাই।
তুমি একটু বেশি বেশি করতেছো না?
এই মাঝখান দিয়ে ঢুকে গেলেন? হ্যাঁ সাদে কি আপনার মাইনছে হাবলু কয়? এর লেগে আপনার হাবলু কয়। কারণ ঢুকছেন যখন, তখন আমারে না বুঝায় আপনার এই ড্রামাবাজ ভাগ্নিরা বুঝান। আমি ওরে বিয়ে করব না, আমি মরে গেলে ওরে বিয়ে করব না। মানে নিজের তো কোনো মান সম্মান নাই, পরিবারের মান সম্মানটা যদি খোয়াইতে না চাও তাহলে এসব বন্ধ করো। সবার সামনে অপমান করবো নাহলে।
থাক ভাগ্নি, তুই কষ্ট পাইস না। হয়তো তোরা বুঝতে পারে নাই, আর যেদিন বুঝতে পারবো ওই কান্দা বুক চাপলাইবো, তখন বুঝবো যে কি জিনিস হারাইছি। তুই কান্দিস না ভাগ্নি, একদম কান্দিস না। তুই থাক, আমি আইতাছি, দেখতেছি।
আজকে যদি আব্বু আম্মু যদি আমারে যদি বলতো যে সাকিব তুই বিয়ে কর, তাহলে আমি
এলেটে বান্ধব তুই চুপ থাক। তুমি তো মোর বন্ধু সুরজ রে চেনো, মোর মেলা দিনের পুরানা বন্ধু। লোকটাও ভালো, বিশ্বাসী। আর তার মাইয়া যে খারাপ হইবে হিয়া কিন্তু মোর বিশ্বাস হয় না। আমার ওই দোস্ত সুরজ রে মুই কথা দিছি, তার মাইয়া আয়সার লগে আগামী মাসে মগো পোলার বিয়া দিমু তা বাবা তুমি কি কও
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ রাস্তা ক্লিয়ার
তোর বাবার একটু মাথা মোটা হইলে তাতে কি হয়েছে কথাটা কিন্তু খুব একটা খারাপ করেনি তাই না ভালো একটা ডিসিশন নিছে
এই হ্যাঁ বেটা ওই যাও কই আরে বেটা বহো যাও যাও কই
বয় বাবা বয় বয় রাখি মাথাটা ঠান্ডা করে বয় না কথা বলতেছি কথাগুলি একটু শুন
আচ্ছা আব্বু আম্মু মন থেকে খুশিতে তোরে বিয়ে করাইতে চাইতেছে মানে তোর মতো বলদ আমি আমার দুনিয়াতে দেখিনি তুই যেখানে রাজি হবি সে জায়গার মধ্যে তুই উল্টার মোসামুসি করতেছিস আজকে যদি আব্বু আম্মু যদি আমারে যদি বলতো যে সাকিব তুই বিয়ে কর তাহলে আমি
এই লইতে বান্দর তুই চুপ থাক বাজান মোসরামুসরি কইরা কোনো লাভ হইবে না বিয়া কোনো অপরাধের কাম না হনু পোলাপান যখন বড় হয় বাবা মার দায়িত্ব পোলাপান করে উত্তম জায়গায় বিয়ে দেওয়া আমার জানা মতো মাইয়াটা সুশীল ভদ্র বিয়েটা হইয়া গেলে তখন বুঝবা তখন আর তোমার অঙ্ক মুখস্থ করা লাগবে না বাবার হোটেলে বইয়া ঠ্যাংয়ের উপর ঠ্যাং তুলা খাবা অসুবিধা কি
অনেক অসুবিধা আমি বিয়ে করবো না আর তোমার বিয়ে দেওয়ার ইচ্ছা হলে তোমার ছোট ছেলের সাথে বিয়ে দাও ওই যে আয়সানা কি নাম ছোট ছেলের বিয়ে দিয়ে দাও তার সাথে আমি পড়াশোনা করব আমি পড়াশোনা করে পাশ করে আমি হায়ার স্টাডির জন্য ইউনিভার্সিটিতে বিদেশের ইউনিভার্সিটিতে আমি পড়তে যাব আমি বিয়ে করব না আমি পড়াশোনা করব
বাজান দিল্লি বহু দূর ওদিকে তুমি তাকাইও না লাভ হইবে না ওই মাইয়ারেই তোমার বিয়া করতে হইবে ফোন নাম্বার নেও কথা কও দরকার পড়লে দুজনে দেখা সাক্ষাৎ করো সিন পরিচয় হও আগামী মাসের যে কোনো দিন তুমি কত মোর এককানি কথা
আপা তোরা তো জানিস তোর আব্বার মাথা গরম যেই কথা বলে সেই কাজ না করা পর্যন্ত তার মাথাটা গরমই থাকে তাছাড়া বাবা সবার তো আর লেখাপড়া হয় না হয় হ্যাঁ? বাবা যে বলছে বিয়ে শাদী কইরা বাবার ব্যবসাটা একটু দেখাশোনা কর এতে করে তোর একটা নতুন জীবন হবে একটা নতুন সংসার হবে তাই না জীবনটা একদম পাল্টায়া যাবে ঝরঝরা হয়ে যাবে তাই না আব্বা আমার কথা শুনতে হয় হ্যাঁ বাজান
আমার ভবিষ্যৎ এমনিও ভালো পড়াশোনা করলেই ভবিষ্যৎ ভালো হবে তুমি যাও এখান থেকে যাও আমার মেজাজ একটু গরম হয়ে যাচ্ছে যাও এখান থেকে যাও
তোর বাবার কথাটা একটু ভালো করে মনোযোগ দিয়ে চিন্তা কর হ্যাঁ
ভাইয়া জীবনে বহুত অঙ্ক মুখস্থ করেছো এবার জীবনের অঙ্কটা মিলাও এই যে উস্কো খুস্কো গালগুলো আছে না চুলগুলো আছে না ওগুলো সেলুনে গিয়ে ফেশিয়াল টিশিয়াল করে একটু মানুষ হও বুঝছো
জুতাগুলো না ময়লা হয়ে গেছে এগুলো ড্রাইওয়াশ করবো আমি ড্রাইওয়াশ করবো
Về dưới sự áp quỷ 7 rưỡi đâu mới đầu định của quen 6 rưỡi là 7 tiếng là 8 tiếng nhưng mà hết ghế rồi do tao đang quỳ mà sao quỳ lâu vậy chôn tao gãy rồi cái ghế rồi ghế bị đứt dây tao buộc cái ghế gãy vào nó bị đứt dây rồi đeo ghế ngồi anh đang quỳ em rồi anh Hà là anh sang cắp ghế của phòng em về xì cắp ngay ghế em lúc rồi à quả vải à long quả vải long quả vải à lick buôn nam mà 4 tuổi nhà tỷ lân 4 tuổi này rồi là 7 tiếp này kệ vậy gay thằng gay cút anh đến luôn rồi đấy anh nhận được mấy tỷ đây lên luôn rồi thôi vào thế giới mới rồi bye bye sao xin hai quát trời học chun đéo này thôi cái gì đấy mới bao nhiêu sức mạnh mới đủ ấy 200 tỷ năng lượng mới lên được Mark cái thế giới tiếp theo. Giờ sẽ xem ra mở trứng ấy. Một quả trứng là 15 tỷ ạ. Anh là thế giới tiếp theo của Tuấn. Thế giới gì nhỉ? Ô, máy ngủ à? Máy ngủ à? Cứ như thằng team viewer ấy. Không tao. What? Rồi, 15 tỷ à? 15 tỷ. Không, anh đang đi roll trứng không chứ. Mày tuổi gì? Mày tuổi gì? Mày vui nhảy như ngựa vậy. Ok. Tự chơi thôi. Anh giờ mới đáy xã hội này. Do 6 tỷ đáy xã hội đều hiểu. Tao 6 tỷ đáy xã hội sửa quá nhỉ. Mới phát thành 28 tỷ thì được tắt auto. Ôi thử bay. Ôi không. Không được rồi, anh không. Đây, không việc này. Không việc này đây. Đấy. Chạy nói làm gì? Mày khinh à? Mày khinh à? Mày đi. Mày thử về Việt Nam xem. Người ta bắt được, không có chân mà chạy đâu. Mày đi. Bóng ram ở đâu? À, sân bóng thị trấn Đông Lam á. Gần nhà Bình An không? Anh cũng biết. Mày gần nhà Bình An. Thế à? Có phải nhà mày cái nhà Hey, mày có chơi mày có chơi mày có chơi Trần Tuấn Nam không? Hả em Nam có chơi Trần Tuấn Nam không? Chơi á, chơi gì chơi Trần Tuấn Nam, anh hỏi em có chơi không? Có gì mày đi 100 tỷ ngoài này, 100 tỷ lại sự không ra luôn đây à? Đây con này sự binh đấy, chịu rồi mày đấy, con này của mình quần. Yes. Bây giờ một quan rare ở bên map này là 5 tỷ rồi cũng 5 triệu nhỉ, 5 triệu. Chưa khỏe ấy. Bên này sâu phải rồi, bên này sâu rồi, mỗi bây giờ 100 giờ được 10 lần ra quay, 10 lần ra quay. Vậy tuyệt đối à? Mày đi. Thống kê tạm thời tỷ lệ tin học cơ sở 2 của B23 nhéo ở đấy. Uầy, sự là sữa nhiều ép ấy, quý ép mấy không biết mấy cái thằng DT là gì, điện tử à? Mấy thằng điện tử 51,81% trượt. Mấy thằng viễn thông 52,2%. DK là gì hả Tuấn? DK là gì? Đúng. DK là cái bẩn. ca gì nhỉ? Nói chung là bọn đây cao nhất mà 56, 76, 45% thì ô, có một thằng học ở thung TT là gì? Mỗi một thằng học cái đấy rồi, chôn à? Có một thằng học theo cơ sở 2, một mình nói là C, 0% trượt. Ở chấm có mỗi thằng ấy rồi. Có mỗi thằng ấy học cái môn này thôi, chôn à? D23 mà, có nhầm không? Có nhầm người học lại không vậy? Sự khó ấy. Hỏng rồi vui. Anh ra Legendary rồi. Anh ra Legendary map mới rồi. Thì béo cao rồi. Hiểu béo học áo quỷ Tuấn, thì béo áo quỷ đấy. Bỏng á. Mỗi tội bên chồng mình có học bổng giỏi mà, thằng ấy cũng học bổng giỏi chắc. Kinh chưa sao không, kinh thầy ơi. Em kéo quỷ không ạ? Trời ơi, anh bay giờ bay bốc lửa rồi, cháy luôn cả đây cái thuyền rồi, ảo ấy. Này, sinh viên. Ba chi liền để quen một quả trứng được. Anh tin đấy. Anh dỡ ra Legendary của map mới rồi cũng rồi. Dễ. Nha. Ui chói đấy, cái mặt trời ở kia mà chói. Nhiều rồi. 38 rồi, anh cần thôi anh cho anh quen 6 tiếng rồi đỉnh. 6 tiếng đi. Hòa tía dậy đi. Em vô xuống check xem mà ai đang trong xe, anh đến nhà các bạn. cái ông tuần này cứ nhờ ông kêu tuần này cứ nhờ cái đứa ấy, cứ nhờ cái đứa đấy trong xã hội bữa ai đó chịu được. Mình cũng thế một cũng mày đòi trường thì thôi, nhưng mà nó bỏ quả lỡ mấy người có ai quan tâm đâu. Thì gì à? Thua. Vậy tí sao nhá quỷ. Ai à, quỷ thêm một lúc không? Đầu đấy chứ. Một lúc đó xong rồi nghỉ ấy, đi buộc lại ghé. Thế thầy ơi. Sẽ boost tốc độ cho các em nhé. Anh đang lên được mốc thứ 2 của map mới. Hiểu, chưa được. Rồi ngoài trời. Mày lên cho rồi, mày boost lên cho rồi. Nhanh ấy, lên được không? Vẫn nhớ được. Chạm. Chậm mà, chậm thật. Sửa tục. Trả lời tục sao? Trả lời đồng ý tiếng hay sao không? Cái gì cũng nói được, căng đấy. Mỗi thằng này nói một đoạn xong rồi đến là thằng kia nói. Ai quỷ quá. Rồi VIP à? Chỗ nóng kinh không? Em được xanh bài với nó à? Xôn không? Cái map sao em ơi? Cái map này của anh có ba con cá mập. Map này toàn map cá mà em. Như là gì nhỉ? Gọi là gì nhỉ? Cái hành tinh gì nhỉ? Sao thủy tên sao thủy em mua. Chưa qua. Mà trường búa không? Xôn không? 50 tỷ, 54,99 tỷ. Tại sao phải 55? Anh em ơi, xuân không? Nhiều game bựa mà, một anh như thế. Mãi không ra một con, ra xua nào. Easy game, noob. Sự chat game. Anh ta bảo, tại sao? Có mấy thằng xếp bài trong đấu ấy. Anh thấy nếu mà chọn giữa Darius với cả Yasuo, nếu đánh 6 trong đấu thì mày chọn con nào? Ta thấy Yasuo tanh mà. thì nó phải hơn ta nữa đi. Chỉ gì ô ngôi sao trắng này 300 ở 400 đúng không? Nó muốn anh phải quay luôn rồi sao? Tôi phải thế giới cho quay luôn. Bay về quay 3 chia liền tiền xong rồi đi mở trứng. Ê quên mất chỗ đây back quên mất cái chỗ bay ở đâu rồi? Để phải giết. Như thể xem tên của cái map của tao là cái gì? Cái Miami à? Cho ăn không bro, Poly.